My heart is my
What up, YouTube? Cam that guy here. I'm back once again with another YouTube video, man. So in this YouTube video, I'm going to be talking about celibacy. Yeah, I'm saying celibacy. Semen retention, how to do it, my experience with it, how to go about doing it, how to handle it, the pros and cons of it, all that in between. So that's going to be today's video, man. So let's go ahead and get started, man. Celibacy, right? Now, celibacy for me was a good thing and a bad thing, right? Here's how celibacy worked for me. So, how celibacy was a good thing was like, okay, I stopped. It was like I became celibate around October 2023, and I went essentially a whole year. I did break. I went like 6 months, and then I jacked off, and then I went another like 6 months type shit. So I didn't go a whole year, but I went many months without it. But in theory, you can kind of say I went a whole year. And how I did it, I really went cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? You never want to go cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, let's say if you masturbate or if you have sex, right? Even if you have sex. But I'm pretty sure if you're in a relationship, celibacy ain't gonna work. Celibacy is only for single males, for single men. Celibacy is not for people that are in a relationship. Because, you know, sex is a part of being in a relationship, right? So if you're celibate, that relationship won't fall apart. But this celibacy is only for single men and single women, right? So, you know, let's say you celibate, you stop having sex, you know what I'm saying, and then you stop masturbating. You kind of just gotta take baby steps. So, for example, let's say I have sex 4 times a week, or I masturbate 4 times a week. Cut down to 3, then cut down to 2, then cut down to 1, and then eventually you'll get at 0. You know what I'm saying? And basically what you gotta do is you have to do other things to get your mind off of that. For a man's point of view, it can get challenging because you'll develop blue balls, you'll get hard, and sexual thoughts will come in your head. Alright, so when I first went celibate, I ain't gonna lie, I was having withdrawals. Like the first couple weeks, all I was thinking about was sex. My balls was hurting, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. So it was kind of challenging, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of difficult. You know what I mean? It was kind of difficult and shit, you know what I mean? It wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy or nothing like that. So like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what was, you know, going on. That's what was happening. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. But yeah, that's what was happening. I would say what ended up happening was I got a little bit of a motivation boost. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of a motivation boost to just go out and do things. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of that motivation boost to go out and do things. And shit like that, you know what I'm saying? For people that haven't been sleeping on that rock, niggas not used to do music videos, the whole night. I used to write, all that shit. So that's what I was doing. I enjoy writing, you know what I'm saying? Music and shit like that. It was cool for me and shit, you know what I'm saying? Music was a good thing. I really enjoyed making music. The best thing I ever, you know, really done. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the music making process. And yeah, but I stopped making music just because I just feel like it was best for me to do, especially with the circumstances that be going on. I definitely feel like it was best for me to do. You know what I mean? But I would say outside of that, it kept me motivated not to jack off, you know what I'm saying, celibacy and shit. But I would say, when you celibate for a long time and when you return to having sex, it's hard to bust. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely hard. I just recently got back into masturbating again, and when I first tried to do it again, which was around March, it was hard for me to bust at first. So it's kind of like when you first get back into, the sex shit, it can be a little bit of a process to, get off again. But after a few times, you'll go back to normal and shit. But celibacy is just good, you know what I'm saying, for your spiritual, you know what I'm saying, your well-being, all that, the whole 9 yards, you know what I mean. Celibacy is a good thing to do. But, it's kind of like, at the same time, I would say a man should if a man decides to be celibate, I would say be celibate for like a couple months, then break and then go again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think a man should be celibate more than a year. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Because I feel like it could cause side effects. So I would say, while being celibate, I mean, it's gonna improve you, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, when you first start off being celibate, you will have withdrawals. But as you go into being more and more celibate, you start to, see like girls how they really are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to look at a girl and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, she ain't attractive at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you celibate, you kind of see women for who they really are. You're not really turned on by them. You know what I'm saying? You just see shit for how it is. You know what I mean? So, basically what I'm saying is like, like when you celibate, you have better aura. You know what I'm saying? I would say you have more of an aura, more of a glow. You're not, you know what I'm saying, fiending. You know what I'm saying? You're more focused on your goals. You're not out here, you know what I'm saying, risking, having sex and shit like that. Every time you have unprotected sex, you're taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of you being married, if you just have unprotected sex, you're taking a risk and shit. So you're more safe. You're staying out of trouble. You get more energy. You get more motivated. All that other shit. So I was, being celibate, and I'm just speaking from a man's point of view, right? Being celibate from a man's point of view, it can work for you. But I don't recommend you be celibate more than like 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I would say once you reach that mark, you can kind of break. But actually, I would probably say a year, actually. Like, I don't know, I just feel like, it could damage, like, your penis being celibate for that long. You know what I'm saying? It could damage it. As far as, like, not really, like, literal damage, but, like, it's going to desensitize it. So, like, when you have sex again, it's going to be harder for you to ejaculate. That's all I'm trying to say, right? Like, I remember I took at least 6 months off masturbating, right? I tried to masturbate. I couldn't even masturbate no more. Couldn't do it. I had to literally force myself to do it. Now, I remember back in March, right? March, I was trying to masturbate and shit. Couldn't do it. I had to get lotion, all that shit. It's almost like I forgot how to do it or some shit. So it's kind of like, when you take a break from it, your penis get desensitized. So it's kind of like, and granted, it's going to get that sensitive the more you do it and shit. But, the only side effects I can say from celibacy is when you first do it, you're going to get blue balls, you're going to have withdrawals, you're going to be thinking about women, you're going to be getting hard, all that other shit. And you might get blue balls even periodically throughout your time of celibacy, you know what I'm saying? Even like months, like 2-3 months, you might develop a blue ball or something like that. And when you do break the cycle, it's going to be hard for you to ejaculate again. But those are the only side effects of celibacy. The good part about it is, like I said, it gives you more energy, more motivation, and you know, all that other stuff. Now let me flip the script. Now the good part about being sexually active, you know what I'm saying? I would say the good part about being sexually active is that it makes you more conversational. It makes you go out and connect more. You know what I'm saying? It makes you go out to talk more and shit like that. It keeps your heart pumping, like it's good. Like it can, I would say if you have sex kind of accordingly, it can give you like a energy boost, because when you ejaculate, it boosts testosterone and hormones inside of you. So when you do that, it gives you a little bit more energy. And I would say, I think that's pretty much about it. You know what I mean? I would just say ejaculating, it can give you more energy, and it makes you more social and stuff like that. I don't know the details, you know what I'm saying? I did a reaction video to it on this channel. You can go check that out. It was an ASAP Science video. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much how it goes and shit, you know what I mean? But, that's pretty much all I really gotta say for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and shit like that. Celibacy is good to do. You know what I'm saying? It's good if you're struggling with like women in relationships, or like if sex is getting in the way, or if you just on a spiritual journey, or you're going through a breakthrough, you're trying to change yourself. I mean, celibacy has more pros than cons. You know? But yeah, like I said, the steps to going celibate, you just gotta go day by day. You just don't want to go cold turkey. You kind of just want to, you know, let's say you're having sex 5 times a week, 4 times a week, break it down to 3, and then 2, and then 1. You know what I mean? That's how you know what I'm saying? Every time you break for something, you gotta slowly cut it off. You can't just immediately cut it off, because then you're gonna have withdrawals and shit. You know what I mean? That goes for anything, like video gaming, you know what I'm saying, whatever people do. You know what I'm saying? Like even like doing drugs and shit, like you going to rehab, you know, all that shit. You know, a lot of scenarios and shit. You never just immediately stop it. You gotta just slowly cut back. But that's how you, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
My heart